Your first $50,000 will take you longer to save than your next $50,000. And your next $50,000 after that, even faster. This isn't motivation, this is math. And once you understand why this happens, everything about building wealth starts to make sense. Let me show you exactly how this works. Right now, you're grinding. Maybe you've saved $5,000, maybe $10,000. Maybe you're just starting at zero. And when you look at that $50,000 goal, it feels impossible. It feels like you'd need to save for 10 years just to get there. Here's what's happening to you right now. Every dollar you save is coming directly from your paycheck. You're trading your time for money, then trading that money for savings. It's pure manual labor. You make $4,000 a month, you save $500, and at that rate, $50,000 takes you over 8 years. 8 years of grinding, sacrificing, and watching that number creep up slowly. And here's the brutal part. Life keeps interrupting. Your car breaks down. Your dentist finds a cavity. Your phone dies. Every time you start making progress, something sets you back. You get to $8,000. Then an emergency drops you to $5,000. You rebuild to $12,000. Then another hit brings you back down. You're not just climbing a mountain, you're climbing a mountain while rocks are falling on your head. This is why most people quit. You're doing everything right. You're budgeting, you're saving, you're sacrificing, but the progress feels so slow that your brain starts telling you it's not worth it. You see someone on Instagram buying a new car and you think, why am I torturing myself for $15,000 when I could just enjoy my life now? But here's what you don't see. Here's what nobody tells you. That first $50,000 isn't just about the money. It's about crossing a threshold. It's about reaching the point where your money starts working harder than you do. And once you cross that line, everything changes. I'm going to show you exactly why your first $50,000 takes years, but your second $50,000 takes half that time. I'm going to break down the 3 forces that make wealth building accelerate once you hit this number. And most importantly, I'm going to give you the exact strategy to push through that brutal first $50,000 without giving up. Because here's the truth. You're not failing. You're in the hardest part. And if you can just get through this part, if you can just push to that $50,000 mark, you'll look back in 5 years and wonder why you ever thought it was hard. By the end of this video, you'll understand the math that makes rich people richer, you'll know exactly where you are in your wealth building journey, and you'll have a clear plan to accelerate your path to that first $50,000. I'm Dan, and I'm here to help you avoid making poor financial decisions. Welcome to my channel, and please like and subscribe as it helps this channel go a long way. Thanks. All right, let's break down exactly why $50,000 is the inflection point and why everything before it feels like pushing a boulder uphill. The 3 forces that change everything after $50,000. Force number 1, compound interest becomes real. Right now, compound interest is a joke to you. You hear about it, you know it exists, but when you have $5,000 in a savings account earning 4% interest, you're making $200 a year. That's $16 a month. You can't even buy lunch with that. Your brain doesn't register $16 as meaningful, so compound interest feels like a theory, not a reality. But here's what happens at $50,000. At 4% interest, you're now making $2,000 per year. That's $166 per month. That's a car payment, that's groceries, that's money you can actually feel. And that's just in a basic savings account. Now let's talk about investing. If you have $50,000 invested in index funds averaging 10% annual returns, you're making $5,000 per year. That's $416 per month. Without doing anything, without working overtime, without side hustles, your money is making money while you sleep. And here's where it gets crazy. Next year, you're not earning 10% on $50,000, you're earning 10% on $55,000 because last year's gains are now part of your principal. Year 3, you're earning on $60,500. Your money is compounding on itself, growing exponentially instead of linearly. Let me show you the real math.
Starting from zero, if you save $500 per month with no investment returns, you hit $50,000 in 100 months. That's 8.3 years of pure grinding. But if you save $500 per month and invest it at 10% average annual returns, you hit $50,000 in just 6 years. You shaved off over 2 years just by letting your money work. And here's the beautiful part. Once you hit $50,000, that same $500 monthly contribution now gets you to $100,000 in just 4 more years. Not another 6 years, just 4. Your first $50,000 takes 6 years. Your second $50,000 takes 4 years. Your third $50,000 takes 3 years. The gap keeps shrinking because compound interest is doing more and more of the heavy lifting. Force number 2, your income grows. Here's what's happening to you right now. You're probably in your 20s or early 30s. You're early in your career, you're making entry-level or mid-level money, maybe $40,000 to $60,000 per year. At this income, saving $500 per month is hard. It's a real sacrifice. You're cutting back on things you want. You're saying no to experiences. It feels painful. But something magical happens between your first dollar and your $50,000. You're not the same person anymore. You've been working for 5, 6, maybe 8 years. You've gotten promotions, you've switched jobs for raises, you've learned new skills. Your income isn't $45,000 anymore. It's $65,000 or $75,000 or $90,000. And when your income grows, your savings rate explodes. Here's why. Your expenses don't double when your income doubles. If you were living on $40,000 per year and your income jumps to $60,000, you don't suddenly need $60,000 to maintain the same lifestyle. Maybe you upgrade a little, maybe you spend $50,000. But that extra $10,000, that's pure savings potential. So now you're not saving $500 per month, you're saving $800, then $1,200, then $1,500. And when you're saving $1,500 per month instead of $500, your second $50,000 doesn't take 6 years, it takes 2.5 years. This is why wealthy people always say the first million is the hardest. They're not just talking about investment returns. They're talking about the fact that by the time you have your first million, your income has probably tripled from where you started. Force number 3, your financial IQ multiplies. When you start from zero, you're financially illiterate. You don't know the difference between a Roth IRA and a 401k. You don't understand tax-advantaged accounts. You're making expensive mistakes without even knowing it. You're paying fees you don't need to pay. You're missing out on employer matches. You're keeping too much cash in checking accounts earning 0 interest. But by the time you hit $50,000, you've learned. You've spent years researching. You've made mistakes and corrected them. You've optimized your tax strategy. You've eliminated stupid fees. You've automated your investments. You've negotiated your salary 3 times. You've learned which expenses actually matter and which ones don't. This knowledge isn't just useful, it's worth money. Real money. Let me give you examples. When you started, you were paying $200 per year in account fees because you didn't know better. Now, you're using free platforms. That's $200 per year back in your pocket. When you started, you weren't maxing your employer 401k match. That was free money you were leaving on the table. Now, you're getting an extra $3,000 per year from your employer just for contributing to your retirement. When you started, you were keeping $10,000 in a checking account earning nothing. Now you've moved it to a high-yield savings account earning 4%, making you an extra $400 per year. When you started, you were paying full price for everything. Now you've learned to negotiate your cable bill, your insurance, your rent. You're saving $150 per month just by asking for discounts. Add it all up, and your financial optimization is putting an extra $6,000 per year in your pocket. That's $500 per month that you weren't saving before just from being smarter. The psychology shift that changes everything. Here's something nobody talks about. When you have $5,000 saved, you still feel broke. When you have $15,000 saved, you still feel vulnerable. But when you hit $50,000, something shifts in your brain. You stop thinking like someone who's scared of money and start thinking like someone who's building wealth. You stop making decisions from scarcity and start making decisions from abundance. And this psychological shift affects everything. When you felt broke, You took the first job offer you got. Now, with $50,000 backing you, you negotiate. You walk away from lowball offers. You have leverage. And that confidence gets you an extra $10,000 in salary. When you felt broke, you were too scared to start a side business because what if it fails? Now, with $50,000 as a safety net, you launch that business. Even if it only makes $500 a month, that's $6,000 per year accelerating your wealth building. When you felt broke, you made desperate decisions. You took on credit card debt for emergencies. You paid interest. Now, with $50,000 saved, emergencies don't become debt. They're just withdrawals that you replenish. You're not bleeding money to interest anymore. This confidence, this psychological security, it's worth money. It makes you bolder. It makes you smarter. It makes you earn more and spend more wisely. Now, let's talk about why you're struggling right now. Because you are struggling. I know you are. And it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because the first $50,000 is designed to filter people out. Here's what you're facing right now. The delayed gratification problem. You're saving money today for a benefit you won't see for years. Your brain hates this. Your brain wants rewards now. Every dollar you put into savings feels like pain because you're not getting anything immediate in return. You're saving for a future version of yourself that doesn't even feel real yet.
The comparison problem. You're comparing yourself to people who are ahead of you. Your coworker who's 35 and has $200,000 saved. Your friend who's 40 and just bought a house in cash. You don't see that they struggle through their first $50,000 too. You just see where they are now and feel behind. The time problem. 8 years feels like forever when you're 25. It feels impossible when you're 30. You're thinking, I'll be 38 before I hit 50K. That's almost 40. But here's the thing. You're gonna be 38 anyway. The question is, do you want to be 38 with $50,000 or 38 with nothing? The willpower problem. You're relying on discipline every single month. You're manually forcing yourself to save. You're fighting against every impulse. And willpower is a finite resource. Eventually, you're gonna slip. You're gonna have a bad month. You're going to deserve a break. And when you do, you'll feel like you failed. All right, so how do you actually get through this? How do you push through the hardest $50,000 without giving up? Strategy number 1, reframe your timeline. Stop thinking about $50,000 as one giant goal. Break it into $10,000 milestones. Your first $10,000 is your emergency fund. Your second $10,000 is your I can breathe fund. Your third $10,000 is your I have options fund. Your fourth $10,000 is your I'm actually building wealth fund. Your fifth $10,000 is your holy shit, I'm at $50,000 fund. Each $10,000 takes roughly 18 months if you're saving $500 per month. That's doable. That's visible. You can see 18 months ahead. You can't see 8 years ahead. Strategy number 2, automate everything. You will not save money if you're relying on manual willpower. The day you get paid, money needs to automatically move from checking to savings, from savings to investments. You never see it, you never touch it, you never make a decision about it. Set up automatic transfers for the day after payday. If you get paid on the 1st, transfers happen on the 2nd. Your savings goal of $500 per month is now broken into 2 automatic $250 transfers if you get paid twice a month. You're not deciding to save, it's just happening. Strategy number 3, increase your savings rate every time you get a raise. Here's the golden rule. Every time your income goes up, immediately increase your automatic savings by 50% of that increase. You got a $3,000 raise? That's $250 per month. Immediately add $125 to your automatic transfers. You still get to enjoy $125 more per month in lifestyle, but you're also accelerating your wealth building. This one habit will cut years off your timeline because your savings rate is growing with your income instead of staying flat. Strategy number 4, optimize your big 3. Stop trying to save money by cutting $5 lattes. That's not where your money is going. Your money is going to housing, transportation, and food.
These three categories are 60 to 70% of your spending. Can you get a roommate and cut your housing cost by $400 per month? That's $4,800 per year. Can you drive a used car instead of financing a new one and save $300 per month? That's $3,600 per year. Can you meal prep and cut your food spending by $200 per month? That's $2,400 per year. Those three moves just saved you $10,800 per year. That's $900 per month. At that savings rate, you hit $50,000 in 4.5 years instead of 8. You just cut your timeline in half by optimizing 3 things. Strategy number 5, track your net worth monthly. On the first of every month, calculate your total net worth, all your savings, all your investments, minus any debt. Write it down, graph it, watch it grow. This is your scoreboard. This is how you see progress. Because here's the thing, progress creates motivation. Motivation doesn't create progress. When you see your net worth go from $12,000 to $15,000 to $19,000, your brain starts believing this is real. You start protecting that number. You start finding ways to make it grow faster. Let me paint you a picture of what your life looks like once you cross $50,000.
You wake up and check your investment account. It's up $800 this week. That's more than you made at your first job per week. Your money made more money this week than you used to make working 40 hours. And you didn't do anything. You didn't work overtime. You didn't hustle. Your money just worked. You get an unexpected $2,000 car repair. Old you would panic. Old you would stress about how to cover it. But now, you transfer money from your savings, pay the bill, and don't even feel it. Because that $2,000 is 4% of your net worth. It's annoying, but it's not scary. Your company posts an opening for a senior position. It pays $25,000 more than you're making now. Old you would be too scared to apply, because what if I'm not qualified? But now, with $50,000 backing you, you apply. You interview with confidence. You negotiate hard, because you don't need this job, you want it. And you get it. That $25,000 raise means you're now saving $2,000 per month instead of $500. At $2,000 per month savings rate, with your $50,000 already working for you, you hit $100,000 in net worth in just 2 years. Not 8 years, not 6 years, just 2 years. Because now you have all 3 forces working for you. Compound interest on $50,000, higher income, and advanced financial knowledge. And then something magical happens. You hit $100,000. At 10% returns, you're making $10,000 per year without working. That's $833 per month. Your money is contributing more to your savings than you were contributing when you started this journey. From $100,000 to $150,000 takes 18 months. From $150,000 to $200,000 takes 15 months. The acceleration is exponential. Every milestone comes faster than the last one. 5 years after you hit your first $50,000, you're sitting at $250,000. You've averaged $40,000 per year in wealth growth. And you look back at that person who is grinding to save $500 per month, and you barely recognize yourself. Listen, you're in the hard part right now. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's easy. It's not. That first $50,000 will test you. It will make you want to quit. It will make you question if it's worth it.
But here's what I need you to understand. Everyone who has built real wealth went through exactly what you're going through right now. Every single one of them had a moment where they had $8,000 saved and thought, this is taking forever. Every single one of them felt behind. Every single one of them wanted to give up. The only difference between them and the people who stayed broke is that they didn't quit. They kept saving $500 a month even when it felt pointless. They kept investing even when the market dropped. They kept pushing even when progress felt invisible. And then one day, they woke up and realized they had $50,000, and then $75,000, and then $100,000. And the acceleration they'd heard about became real. You're building momentum right now. Every dollar you save is a pound of force pushing that boulder up the hill. And once you get it to the top, once you hit that $50,000 mark, gravity flips. The boulder starts rolling downhill, picking up speed, and you're just running alongside it, watching your wealth grow. So don't quit. not at $5,000, not at $15,000, not at $35,000, because the hardest part is right now. And once you get through this, everything gets easier. Now go check your net worth, set up those automatic transfers, and let's get you to your first $50,000. I'll see you in the next one.